Yes, hello.
Hey, it's Chrissy from the onboarding department. I wanted to give you a sneak peek of Lou Data Conversion. Lou is an enterprise resource planning software that's customizable to meet your business needs. During the onboarding process, you'll work with the onboarding team to not only set up Lou, but to bring your unique data into Lou. What kind of data can you bring into Lou? Well, first off, you can bring in your customers, their names, phone numbers, their billing and shipping address, their email address, and also different ID aliases. You can also bring in your vendors, their address, website, phone numbers, their primary contacts, such as their sales rep that you work with, or also a support rep. The import spreadsheet allows you to bring in your SKUs with their cost, their sale price, and also that vendor information and tie it directly to the items. And last but not least, your balances, things like your inventory valuation, your accounts receivable, and your customer deposits. Now that we've gone over what you can bring into Lou, let's go over the 5 tips to help prepare your data. First off, we recommend that you start prepping your data as soon as possible. Start prepping your data now. Data prep is the most time-consuming part of onboarding. So you should start basically when you start onboarding, prepping your data. Secondly, Google is your best friend. Google is a great resource for finding tips and tricks about your old software. Here at Lou, we are Lou experts, and we, of course, will help you our best to give you tips and tricks, but sometimes we don't necessarily know your previous software. Google usually has some amazing tips and export tips. Clean up your data. This is a really important one. Good data in equals good data out. Basically, once you get your data exported out of your old software, it's a really good time to clean it up. Why would you want to bring in those obsolete items or any bad records? Clean it up. You'll be grateful for it later. Check in with your vendors. This is an awesome tip. We've learned in the last year that a lot of people can go directly to their vendors, and the vendors have on file different Excel sheets that have basically what you've purchased. Check in with them. They usually can provide it to you. And this way, basically, you're importing items that you actually buy. None of those obsolete items that are just sitting in your warehouse that you don't actually track and you don't buy. And last but not least, your quantities. You should plan on doing a physical count about 5 business days prior to go live. If you don't want to do that, if you have a software that actually has a count on hand or an inventory valuation, that's fine too. We do recommend though, even if you have that, you should do some type of spot checking. And now that we've talked about like the tips to bring your data in, let's go over some of the tools that you'll have access to during the onboarding process. The very first one is the import templates. We have import templates for your customers, your SKUs, and your vendors. These are really easy to use. They're gonna just provide you the information that you can basically copy and paste directly from your old software. We also have an amazing import tool. There's a couple things that this tool does. Let's go over it. It's going to help you check for duplicated records or bad data. It also allows you to edit errors that maybe was on the import and you see it on the spot. So maybe you imported 300 items and it says, hey, you have 5 errors. Lou doesn't make you take the whole import out. You can edit those 5 items directly in the import. And then last but not least, we give you a chance to do a final review before you bring that data in. On top of that, once the data is in, if you realize later that you did make a mistake, we have a great rollback tool, which will let you dump the spreadsheet directly out of Lou, make your changes, and then bring it right back in. Last but not least, we also have the ability to import from integrations. We have great integration partners that let you download directly from their catalogs. This is amazing because it brings you the most up-to-date dealer pricing. All of this that we've just talked about is just the basics of data conversion. Together with your onboarding specialist, you'll bring in your data so that you can go live on Lou.
Yes, hello.